Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Cybersecurity Ranger. This is the fifth video in the series of password attacks. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can crack the hashes to get the passwords. So I'm going to try to crack NTLM hashes, MD5 hashes, SHA-256, SHA-5112, and I will also try to demonstrate how you can get the password of the zip files which are password protected. And then the same method can be used for the other files like a Word file or a Word document, which is also protected with a password. Before I begin, I just want you to understand that hashes, they are basically irreversible, which means that if you have the hash of a password, you cannot generate the password from that hash. So these tools like John or any other tool for that matter, the way it works is that you have to provide it with a dictionary file. So it goes on and tries to compute the hashes of those dictionary words and then try to compare them with the hash that you want to crack. Okay. Um, so the tool that we are using today is John. So John -help basically gives you the details of the options that are available in John. So you can see here, -single is basically a single crack mode, which uses the default rules. -rules can be used if you are specifying a certain rule. So there are some default rules that are available in John, or you can also create your own rule that I'm going to also demonstrate that how you can create a custom rule if you have some information about the password, or if you think that a certain word might be in the password. -word list is basically used for feeding it with the dictionary file. So let's get started. So there are lots of options in this tool, and it's one of the best password cracking tools, and it's really fast. Another thing that you should know is that there is a file called john.pot. So it's basically located in /root /john/john.pot. Now, currently, I don't have this file because I haven't cracked the hashes, but whenever John cracks the password, it actually keeps saving them in the john.pot file. So the next time when you try to crack the same hash to get the password, John doesn't show because the password is already there and the hash has already been cracked. So just a heads up that if you don't see an output, probably the hash that you're trying to crack, the password is already in this file. So I'm going to show you later on once we do some cracking. Okay, so let's start with the NT hashes that I have. So I have a file called hashes.txt. These are the Windows NT hashes that I'm going to try to crack by using John, right? Lots of them. And you'll see how fast it is. So the way it starts is that you have to use John. And after that, you can give the file name hashes.txt. -- format is the NT. So if it's an NTLM, you will write NTLM. If it is NT, you will write NT. If it is SHA-256 or SHA-512, so accordingly, you will mention the format of the hashes. Now, if you don't know that what kind of hash are we dealing with, and you don't know the format, so you have some free websites that can actually tell you what kind of hash it is. Let's see if my browser opens, I can show you. Okay. So hash, you can search hash identifier. You can see hashes.com. This is the website. So let's just pick one hash to try to find out what kind of hash it is. So for instance, I have MD5 hashes. I'm going to just copy one of them. All these hashes, I have kept them for the demo purposes. Come on. All right, so once I enter the hash and then try to identify by using submit and identify button, you can see here that this is basically an MD5 hash. So like I said, if you're not sure what kind of hash you're dealing with, you can always find it on hashes.com website. All right. So the hashes that I'm using are the NT hashes, and then -- word list is rocku.txt. Now, online you can find a lot of dictionaries available, really big dictionaries which contains a lot of passwords, even complex ones. The one that I'm using for demonstration purposes is called rocku.txt. You can actually find it in Linux. It's there, and it's quite good. Even rocku.txt is not that big, but it's really good. rocku.txt. So if you're looking for this dictionary file, rocku.txt, you will actually find it in user share word lists, and then you will find rocku.txt. So I have already extracted it in a txt format, and it's on my desktop. So that's why I'm in the desktop directory, and you can see here word list equal to rocku.txt, right? So that's it. And let's just press enter to see if it can crack the passwords. So you can see here, all the passwords of the hashes have been cracked. So the first hash was 12345, 12345, 789, password, I love you, princess, etc., 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 right? So all the hashes and pretty quick, right? Now, the thing that I was talking to you about was that if once you crack this and you try to crack it again, John basically doesn't show the passwords again. And the reason why, because the hashes have already been cracked and the passwords are in the john.port file. So let me show you john.port. So I'm using cat to see the passwords that I cracked in john.port file. So you can see here for each of the hash, it says the type of the hash it is, and then this is the actual hash, and this is the password hash, and the password hash, and the password, and so on, right? Now, what I normally do is that I usually keep clearing the, I usually remove it. So I'm using RM to remove the john.port file to go to the next demonstration. So the next type of password that I'm going to crack is the MD5 hashes. So again, the same method, the same command, nothing new, except that I will be using MD5 hashes, which contains 2 hashes, MD5 hashes. And the format now for MD5, you have to write it as raw-MD5, okay? Otherwise, it won't work. So -- format equal to raw-MD5. So if it's an MD5 hash, the method is same. You just have to change the format type and then try to crack. So there we go. We have the hashes, the passwords of the hashes that were there in the MD5 hashes.txt, right? So again, if I use the cat to see in john.port, you can see here the first hash, the password is Katie Millie Roxy, and the second one is KCIR 12, whatever, right? Okay. I'm just going to remove the john.port file again to keep it clear. Similarly, you can also crack the SHA password as well. The SHA password, SHA 256, SHA 512. If you just want to get an idea, like what kind of password formats does John support, you can actually write John hyphen list equal to formats, right? So this basically will give you the list of all the formats that John supports. So Descript and BS decrypt, you have even radius, you have Kerberos, you have RAR, you have zip, you have MD5, SHAs, HMAC SHA. Really, it's amazing. I mean, the type of formats that John supports. So this is where you can find the list of all the hashes that you can actually crack. All right. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you now that how we can get the password, or crack the password of a zip file which has been password protected, right? So I'll just take a minute to generate a zip file. So I'm going to pause the video for a few seconds. All right, guys, so I have created a zip file with .rar extension, as you can see here, ranger.rar. So if I double click and I try to extract and click on extract, it basically asks me for the password. So enter the password for the archive ranger.rar. So if we get a situation like this in which we need to retrieve the password or crack the password, the first thing that you need to do is rar2.john and then the file name ranger.rar, and I'm going to write it out to ranger.txt. So what it does is that it will get the hash of the password and then write it in ranger.txt. So once you press enter, you can see here the ranger.txt got created on my desktop. I will just show you what are the contents. So ranger.txt. And here you can see the hash of the password, right? So if you have a zip file, you will just use zip to John, and then the file name, and then extract it to txt. Similarly, it goes for the doc file and so on, right? So I'm just going to demonstrate only for one zip file with .rar extension. Okay, so the next thing is to crack. So I have the hashes in ranger.txt file this time. And then we are going to use hyphen word list. Let's try to crack it without using the format command, right? Let's see what it does. Word list equal to rocku.txt. So let's see. So it seems like it's not working. It loaded. So we need to give the format, right? So I'm going to press Q to quit. And all right, guys. So I was trying to crack in the background, and because the password that I put for this zip file was a bit complex and it was taking a lot of time, right? So what I have done is that just for the sake of demonstration, I have just kept an easy password again on the same file. And I use the same method to get the text file, to get the hash into the text file. And now we are going to crack it. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to remove the part file. So rm/root.john.pot. All right. So let's try to crack it now. John ranger.txt contains the hash. Hyphen word list is rocku.txt, and I press enter. Now, when you encrypt when you put a password, basically RAR uses PBKDF2SHA256. And you can see here that the password is 12345 for ranger.rar, right? So let's try to extract it this time. Extract. Click on extract and password 12345. Okay, so now you can see that the file has been, open now. It's a text file, a secret file. This file was password protected, okay? So this is how you can retrieve the password for password protected file, whether it's with the .rar extension, a doc file, a PDF file, a zip file, etc. Okay. All right, guys. So now I'm going to show you how we can write custom rules in John the Ripper. So first of all, I'm going to generate a hash for a password that we will try to crack. Generate online hashes. Sorry. Okay, so you can use any website to generate the hashes. So now I'm going to use Ranger at 1965, for instance. Calculate hashes. I'm going to copy SHA-512, which is considered to be pretty good and secure hash function. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to save it in a text file. So this is the hash that we will try to crack, okay, by using a custom rule. Let's save it on the desktop. I'm going to call it hash.txt. Okay. The next thing that we need to do is, so this is hash.txt for SHA-512. And the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to create kind of a dictionary. It's not exactly a dictionary, but I'm going to write ranger at. So the idea here is that I'm trying to create a custom rule where I have some idea that the beginning of the password starts with ranger at. Okay. It's just like you may try to guess that, okay, this password probably starts with the name of a person, the name of a place, and then we don't know what are the next 4 digits. So we are going to write a rule to find the next 4 digits, which is 1965, right? So let's save this. And I'm going to call it custom dict.txt. Okay. So now I have custom dict dictionary. You can use any dictionary, but obviously for the sake of demonstration, I just created a dictionary which has basically the beginning of the password, and then we are trying to guess the last 4 digits for this password. Now let's go ahead and write the rule. So in order to write the rule, you have to go to john.configuration file. I'm using the VI editor. You can use any editor that you're comfortable with. So now I'm at the bottom of this configuration file and remove the comment. I'm going to start with list dot rules, and I'm going to name it my rule, for example. Enter, and starting with A to Z, basically I'm going to add now 0 to 9 for the first digit, and again 0 to 9 for the second digit, 0 to 9 for the third digit, and 0 to 9 for the fourth digit. Now, what this simple rule does is that it will try to guess the 4 digits, which is going to be any 4 digit, right? Starting from 0 to 9, 0 to 9, 0 to 9 for all 4 digits. Let's save this rule. Okay. And now let's try to crack it. So we'll use John hash dot txt hyphen format equal to. Now remember, you have to start with raw SHA-512, because the type of the hash is SHA-512, hyphen word list equal to custom dict.txt, and then hyphen rules is equal to my rule. Okay. So I'll repeat again. The idea here is that we partially have some idea of the password and we want to guess the last 4 digits. And for that, we have written a custom rule in the configuration file. So what Johnny will try to do is that use this custom dictionary and try to add these 4 digits in the end. So A to Z basically means that it adds those digits, or try to guess those digits at the end of the dictionary word. So let's press enter and see if we can crack the password. So here you can see Ranger at 1965. So the last 4 digits have been guessed by John the Ripper. I hope you have liked the video. So please subscribe to the channel and share the videos. And if you have any particular topic in mind related to the cybersecurity, or if you want me to make a video on a certain tool, please let me know in the comments. Thank you.